Just kind of give you an idea of the eggs that we're using. These are fresh eggs. My son has chickens and ducks. We had a dozen duck eggs, and then some of these mixed ones with some of the tan ones and the brown ones and the green ones. And those are all from the chickens that he has that we get the eggs from. Okay, we're going to continue with our breakfast that we're going to make for our long-term storage. We got 2 scrambled eggs. We're going to put one in each one of these. And we've got some diced ham we're going to put in here and freeze. Then I've got some shredded cheese. I'm going to make a tray of that. And if you remember, I already did some sauteed peppers, green, yellow, and orange peppers, and some onions. So we'll put 2 eggs. We'll put some ham and then some of the sauteed peppers and onions and cheese in a bag, and that'd be ready for a meal. So we'll see how these turn out. We've got 2 of them done, so there's 2 eggs in each one of these, and we're going to go from there. We got some duck eggs and some chicken eggs, so we're putting a duck egg and a chicken egg in there, so it's actually a little bit more than 2 eggs. But that's what we're going to go for now. All right, I have a tray of cheese done. What I'm using is this here cheese style shreds. It's a non-dairy cheese because I don't normally eat much cheese, if any at all, a regular one. So I'm going to make it with this cheese, and then we'll dry it. So I've got, pretty much just about a package in there. I had 2 packages. So here's our eggs. We got coming out with these. So we'll get the freeze dryer going. So in a few more minutes, we'll be ready to load it. We have 1 more tray of eggs we're going to do. Now when we're cooking eggs, we're putting just a little bit of olive oil in there. Just have a little something in the pan. This pan doesn't really need much oil at all. That way we don't have to worry about trying to freeze dry it with oil, because oils and greases don't freeze dry very well. So this is how we're doing it. We're getting the spread out here, getting them going, and it don't take too long to cook them when you're scrambling them, especially in this pan. So we'll see that loaded in the next tray. So let me go back over here and get the next tray ready, because this one is all full. So we're going to take this tray here off. It's got the cheese in it. This one has the ham in it. And this one over here, we got enough for 6 more eggs, a dozen pairs of eggs. Got a little cheese in here. We'll put this back in the cheese one. So we'll cook up 8 more, or yeah, probably another dozen eggs here. Then we'll have a couple dozen eggs. We're ready to go. So that's where we're at. We'll get them loaded here real soon in the freeze dryer once it gets done cooling. We have the eggs loaded. We got 2 trays of eggs here. And then here's our tray of cheese. Then here's our tray of ham. So we'll put those in here. Those are all ready to go. Gonna lock this. Our valve is closed for our vacuum. And we've been going our 15 minutes, so we're gonna hit continue. And we're freezing. So we'll come back once these are done and see how that works out. Well, our scrambled eggs and our cheese and our ham are done. So let's go ahead and pull this out. Take a look at the ham. That's pretty dry, so that'll work good. Oh, it tastes like ham. Pretty good. So this is the cheese. Crunchy, good. And here's our eggs. Let's grab a little piece. Let's grab a little piece of the egg. That's pretty good. So now what we'll do is we'll start packaging these up. I'm going to get the sauteed peppers and onions, and then we'll put 1 section here, and then we'll put probably 1 section of the cheese and the ham, and then about the same amount of the peppers and onions in a bag, and we'll seal those up, and then we'll save one to see how much water we're going to have to add to them to get them redone. So let me get everything all ready and we'll come back. All right, to see how much volume we had, here's one of the sections of eggs, 2 sections of cheese, 2 sections of ham, and then I put in a 1/4 cup of the peppers and onions that we sauteed up the other day, and that's about how much it filled up in a bowl. And I think that's going to be just about right for a serving to go along with something else. So even though it don't fill the bag up real full, it is going to give us a good serving, and we'll be able to just fix it right in the bag. So let me get that put in there, and we'll go from there. I took one of the servings, would be an egg, the ham, the cheese, and the peppers and the onions. So that's 1 serving in a jar here, and I got some hot water. I have 6 tablespoons. I'm going to pour in there, and we're going to see if that is enough to get it rehydrated. I'll kind of shake it up and see what's going on. I may have to add a little bit more. Then once I figure out how much water we need to add, then I'll write that right on the package so we know how many tablespoons to add of hot water, and then it'll be ready to eat. All right, been about 10 minutes or so. Let's open this up and we'll see what it's like inside here. Looks like it's all hydrated pretty well. Let me try an egg. Well, it's rehydrated good. Try some of the other stuff. Turned out to be pretty good. So probably could put maybe just another tablespoon in. Instead of 6, put in 7. But that's I'll make a nice breakfast, and with the hot water, it has it warm. Could probably, you know, if you have microwave, warm it back up, or a fire with some water in it, and just keep it warm. But that turned out pretty good. So let's take a look at what we ended up with. We have, this one's just got 4 eggs in it. We have 4 eggs in this one. I didn't write on that one yet. I'll have to do that. 4 eggs, scrambled eggs, cheese, pepper, onions, and I wrote on it's cooked. And what I'll do, I'll write on here, add 6 to 7 tablespoons of hot water. And then I have another one with 2 scrambled eggs with all the other stuff in there. I have one here in the shrink wrap. This is 1 serving like I fixed in the jar. This one is another breakfast meal, which is about this much here. And another one. So, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 breakfasts. And then this one here is going to be enough for 2, because it's a big serving, because there's 4 eggs. I put 2 in there and doubled up on the peppers and cheese and onions. So that's like 2 servings. And then here's 2 scrambled eggs, or 4 scrambled eggs. So it'd be 2 servings of eggs. You'd have to add something with it for, you know, some of it don't want all this other stuff. There's 4 eggs in here. And there's also 4 eggs in this one, which I didn't write on it yet. So that's what we ended up with, plus the 1 meal that I just fixed to see how it would work. So I'll just go through, and what I kind of used was in the powder, it's 2 tablespoons of powder and 2 tablespoons of water for an egg. So I figured when I had two eggs, that would have been 4 tablespoons, and then the cheese and the pepper and everything else, I'll put 2 more in there. So I think that's pretty good. So what I do here is, because I got 4 eggs, I'll put in you know, the amount of water for 4 eggs. So that would be how I'd label that, how much water to put in them. So you don't have to remember what it was when you get ready, you know, in 10 years or whatever it is. I'll open this up. I may not remember the ratio, so I like to write that on there. So that's what I'll do. And we're all ready, and that's some breakfasts. So we've got several meals here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably six or 7 meals. So that's a week's worth of breakfast all ready to go in long-term storage.